Okay, this video is going to be an interesting one. I didn't necessarily start recording with the idea of having a certain topic in mind. Um, Things have come to my mind though that I thought I would talk about. And it just today being the way that it is today and how I'm feeling, I get this feeling that I should be talking to a specific group of people, a group of people that I would guess I could say do kind of match up with me. And, I guess you can also say it has to do with young people, especially gay young people who end up committing suicide. But the truth is that the majority of people in this world, we go around in our lives and we know certain people and we have acquaintances and then we have people we would call friends and things like that. And we go along with our lives and we have a good time and we live, and the whole time not understanding that there are other people in this world who are not having such a great time. They don't have the amount of friends that you have. They don't have the good times that you seem to be able to create for yourselves every day of every week. And it's people like that who, not all people like that, but it is a good majority of people like that who end up committing suicide. And I can say firsthand that I know how some of these people feel because there are times in my life where I feel quite lonely. And the truth is that you'd say, well, I knew this person and they committed suicide, but they were my friend and I always talked to them. Well, are you sure you knew them completely? Are you sure you understood what they were going through completely? Because the truth is I know lots of people. I know a lot of people. I have lots of people on the Facebook. I have lots of people on the MySpace. I know people, but not every single one of those people can be considered my friend. And half the time, the people who are considered my friends, I don't ever really get to see them. And the truth is that for some people, they go out and maybe their friends will show them a good time every once in a while, but then when they go home, they have to go back to loneliness. They have to go back to feeling useless and by themselves. I mean, or maybe you could match up exactly with my life, and I guess you're going to get a little personal insight into a little bit of my life. Um, it wasn't until I was 18 years old that the life that I had with my family ended, and it had in large part to do with the fact that I did not agree with my parents' religious beliefs and ideas of how things should be done, and then later, when they found out I was gay, also had to do with that. And in my family, things, normal things for young people to have, like friends and cell phones and cars and things like that, that was all alien to me. I knew nothing of those things because they were kept from me. Because my parents believed if they kept those kinds of things from me, then I would not turn what they would call into a sinful human being, someone who um, is surrounded by secular things instead of godly religious things, I guess is what you would call it. And so then when I turned 18, I had no idea how to drive a car. I had I've never used a cell phone before. I'd never had a best friend or any type of friends like that. And so that's pretty much the way my life has been. And continues to be that way. Of course, like I said, yes, I have friends. I have people who are nice to me. I have people who've helped me out in my life and who've been there. But a lot of those people are no longer around. A lot of them came and went as quickly, you know, as they possibly could, it seems like. And of course, now I'm in a new place in my life. I'm living in a new area. Moved from Vermont back to Maryland and living with a friend. And, and there's a lot of loneliness in that, especially if you don't, because I don't have a car. And I know there are other people that can relate to me 100%, because I know I'm not the only person who's had a life growing up like mine. And it can be lonely. It can be lonely, and there may be people in your, in your life that you think are just, oh, they're fine, don't worry about them, they're okay, they're my friend, this and that. But then you don't realize that they feel so very lonely and left out because you can pick up and go, but they can't because life has dealt them a shit ass deal. But at the same time, I would tell these people that happiness is a state of mind. And even though I've had certain things happen to me and I don't have the luxury of other things that other people may have, and yes, I may find myself lonely more often than I would like, that you can be happy anyways. And I choose to be happy and I choose to be optimistic and I choose to come on here and speak with you people and to let you know that suicide and, you know, hurting yourself in any way is no solution to the fact that life has dealt you a bad deal. With the combination of maybe you have overly religious parents who don't understand, or maybe you just have no parents at all, or maybe you do have parents and they don't necessarily have a problem with you, they just don't pay attention to you. And maybe you do have those kind of friends that I spoke about where they think they're doing you some good and they hang out with you and stuff like that, but then they leave not understanding that you still feel lonely. And loneliness is a scary thing. It can be. And, you know, no amount of a good time for every little bit of time. You can have some fun here and there, but it never makes the loneliness any less lonely. Because, like I said before, you can go out and you can do those things, and then when you come home, you know, all you have is yourself. And then you have those friends that they're around when the good times are happening and when people are having fun. But then when you need them for those private moments, those moments to be able to talk to them, those moments where you really need them, they're nowhere to be found because they don't want to have to deal with those kind of things. They don't want to have to realize that maybe one of their friends are hurting or they feel lonely because they just want to be there for the good times. And I'll tell you right now, if you have a friend like that, then they're not a real friend. They're not. And you don't need them. And you don't have to feel lonely. You really don't. Even though I do let it take over me sometimes when I really shouldn't. Um, Life can be hard sometimes, but life can get better. Um, I suppose you could say I did give a little bit of my life story and a little bit of a coming out story, I suppose. But, and to all those friends, you know, we live in such a selfish society. We should take better time in trying to understand the people that we call our friends and to really wonder and to really ask them if they are okay. To message them every once in a while, to say hello, to make sure that they're doing all right, to make sure that they have those things. Because some people don't have the benefit of families or close knit best friends and things like that. Some people in life, they go through their whole life being alone, and they have to deal with things alone. And the truth is that human beings were not built to be completely and totally alone. We have to help each other. We have to lift each other up. We have to be there for one another. And yes, they may not be blood related to you, and maybe they're not even that close of a friend to you. But if you want to be a real friend, if you want to be a true person, then you need to go find those people and you need to lift them up, to speak to them, to say hello. A friendly hello and a smile can lift up anybody's day. Um, and so that's really all I wanted to talk about. So, yeah. I'll talk to you all later then. Peace out.